Well, today we're looking at mitosis in a whitefish blastula. That's a embryonic stage. The slide comes with, I think, 9 of these little tiny spots, which are just thin sliced embryos spread out on the slide. And they are quite tiny, somewhere around 1 millimeter each. And here we are in here we are in scanning power. If I move up to low power, that's 100x in our lab. I've got to refocus a little bit. Now we can see that there are, in fact, cells there. Each dark staining spot in the center is a nucleus and a kind of pink blob. My slide has a little crack down the middle. That's that weirdness that you're seeing. And now I go to high power and you can see individual cells. And in the lab, I usually tell students you just have to look around and take some time and you'll find everything. Right there is actually a really good example of a cell in telophase. You can tell it's in telophase because you can actually see the cleavage furrow forming. That actually took me a while to find that one. I didn't just happen to focus right on that. I did that ahead of time. But all the other stages you can find relatively easy if you look around eventually. Like there is one that's in anaphase right there. And again, you can see that that's relatively early in anaphase. And down toward the bottom, I saw one was in metaphase. Now compared to the onion, which we commonly look at in lab, that's a very messy metaphase, but I'd call it metaphase. Compared to the onion, the chromosomes are much smaller and there's a lot more of them. So it is a lot more difficult to tell, especially for students. There's a good look in anaphase right there. Maybe we'll find a prophase out here, that'd be nice. This appears to be 2 that have recently split because they look like they just were together. There's another anaphase right there. The one thing I will say, some students do confuse the cellular structures. Sometimes you see these, because proteins stain, these are not chromosomes, these are the structures involved in separating the chromosomes there and kind of right there. But then here are the chromosomes. On this particular slide, they stain purple. I'd say that's probably about as good of a prophase as I'm going to find here because the area where the chromosomes take up is usually pretty small. And then I guess, wow, here's 3 metaphases right together like that. That's kind of amazing. And there's another metaphase, another 3 more metaphases, and then it appears to be another anaphase or possibly into early telophase right there. All right, well, hey, that was pretty amazing. I seem to have hit them all in about 3 minutes. All right, you're welcome, guys.